The Mafia. The very word whispers of secrets, violence, and power. It evokes images of shadowy figures, smoke-filled rooms, and the cold steel of a gun. For centuries, this clandestine organization has held an iron grip on power, its influence seeping into the very fabric of society. From the sun-drenched hills of Sicily to the bustling streets of New York City, the Mafia's reach has been long and unforgiving. Its history is a tapestry woven with threads of extortion, murder, and political corruption. This is the story of that history, a journey into the heart of an organization that has thrived on fear and intimidation, leaving an indelible mark on the world. Prepare yourself, for what you are about to delve into is not for the faint of heart. This is the dark history of the Italian Mafia, a story whispered in hushed tones and shrouded in mystery. The roots of the Mafia lie buried deep in the fertile soil of 19th century Sicily. This picturesque land, with its rolling hills and sun-drenched fields, was a place of stark contrasts. The people of Sicily were struggling to survive, caught in a cycle of poverty and oppression. The island was isolated, its people left to fend for themselves. Sicily, impoverished and exploited, was ripe for rebellion. The peasants, who worked the land from dawn till dusk, saw little of the fruits of their labor. Landowners, often absent and callous, ruled with an iron fist. The peasants had no one to turn to for justice or protection. It was in this climate of fear and desperation that the Mafia took root. The seeds of what would become a powerful criminal organization were sown in Sicily's social and economic turmoil. They began as protectors, offering their services to those desperate for it. These early mafiosi were seen as saviors by the peasants. They settled disputes, protected businesses, and meted out their own brand of justice. The Mafia's swift and decisive actions were seen as a necessary evil. Power, influence, and wealth awaited those who dared to grasp it. The Mafia's rise to power was fueled by the desperation and suffering of the people they claimed to protect. The seeds of a criminal empire were sown. What began as a loose network of protectors and enforcers would grow into a powerful and feared organization. As the Mafia's influence grew, so did its organization. What began as loosely connected groups of men offering protection and enforcing their own brand of justice soon evolved into a more sophisticated and sinister network. By the late 19th century, a more structured and ruthless entity emerged, the Cosa Nostra, Our Thing. This organization was not just a collection of criminals, it was a well-oiled machine with a clear hierarchy and a strict set of rules. The Cosa Nostra expanded its operations to include a variety of illegal activities, from smuggling and gambling to drug trafficking and loan sharking. The Mafia's influence permeated every aspect of life in Sicily. The Cosa Nostra was a brotherhood, bound by blood oaths and a strict code of silence known as omerta. This code was the cornerstone of the Mafia's power, ensuring that its secrets remained hidden and its members remained loyal. To betray omerta meant death. The Mafia's justice was swift and brutal, and its members lived in constant fear of retribution. The Black Hand, the Cosa Nostra's calling card, spread terror throughout Sicily. This symbol of the Mafia's power was a warning to those who dared to defy it. Extortion, kidnapping, and murder became commonplace. The Mafia's methods were ruthless, and its victims were many. Politicians and businessmen were either bought or bullied into submission. The Mafia's power was not just in its ability to commit crimes, but in its ability to control those in positions of authority. The reach of the Cosa Nostra extended far beyond Sicily's shores. As waves of Italian immigrants fled poverty and oppression, they carried with them the seeds of the Mafia. These immigrants sought a better life in the New World, but they also brought with them the traditions and practices of the Cosa Nostra. Little did they know, these seeds would find fertile ground in the bustling streets of America, where a new chapter in the Mafia's bloody history was about to be written. The year was 1920. America had embarked on a grand social experiment: prohibition. The noble goal to eradicate the evils of alcohol. The unintended consequence: the creation of a black market more lucrative and deadly than anyone could have imagined. Enter the Mafia. With their experience in smuggling and their ruthless efficiency, they were perfectly positioned to exploit this new opportunity. From backroom speakeasies to vast smuggling rings, the Mafia seized control of the illegal liquor trade. Names like Al Capone, Lucky Luciano, and Bugsy Siegel became synonymous with power, wealth, and violence. The streets of New York, Chicago, and other major cities became battlegrounds as rival gangs fought for control of this lucrative new market. Prohibition, intended to curb vice, had inadvertently fueled the flames of organized crime, transforming the Mafia from a shadowy Sicilian organization into a powerful force in American society. The Vatican, a beacon of faith, hope, and charity. This ancient city-state nestled within Rome stands as a symbol of spiritual guidance and religious authority for millions around the world. Its majestic architecture and profound history draw pilgrims and tourists alike, all seeking a glimpse of its divine aura. But behind the sacred walls of this holy institution, a darker truth lay hidden. The corridors that echo with prayers and hymns also harbor secrets that could shake the very foundations of the church. For years, whispers circulated of a secret alliance between the Vatican and the Mafia. These whispers were not just idle gossip, but were rooted in a series of events and connections that pointed to a clandestine relationship. These were not mere rumors. Investigations and testimonies began to reveal a complex web of interactions that suggested a mutual benefit between the holy and the profane. The Vatican Bank, officially known as the Institute for the Works of Religion, became entangled in a web of financial scandals involving money laundering, fraud, and ties to organized crime. This institution, meant to manage the church's funds, found itself at the center of numerous controversies. One name, in particular, sent shockwaves through the church: Roberto Calvi, nicknamed God's Banker. Calvi's involvement with the Vatican Bank and his subsequent downfall became a symbol of the corruption that had infiltrated the church's financial dealings. Calvi, head of the Banco Ambrosiano, had close ties to both the Vatican Bank and the Sicilian Mafia. His dual allegiance to these powerful entities placed him in a precarious position, balancing the interests of both the sacred and the sinister. When his bank collapsed in 1982, it triggered one of the biggest financial scandals in Italian history. The fallout from this collapse was felt far and wide, affecting not just the financial sector, but also the reputation of the Vatican itself. Calvi's body was found hanging beneath Blackfriars Bridge in London, a supposed suicide. The circumstances of his death were shrouded in mystery and controversy, leading many to question the official narrative. But many believe it was a message, a chilling reminder of the deadly consequences of crossing the Mafia, even for those who sought refuge in the house of God. The death of Roberto Calvi remains one of the most enigmatic and debated events in the history of the Vatican's financial scandals. It serves as a stark reminder of the dangerous liaisons that can exist between the sacred and the secular, and the lengths to which some will go to protect their secrets. The Vatican's connection to organized crime is a dark chapter in its history, one that continues to cast a shadow over its legacy. As new evidence and testimonies emerge, the true extent of this unholy alliance becomes clearer, revealing a complex interplay of power, money, and influence. Despite these revelations, the Vatican remains a place of profound spiritual significance. Its ability to inspire faith and devotion endures, even as it grapples with the darker aspects of its past. The story of the Vatican connection is a testament to the enduring struggle between good and evil, a narrative that continues to unfold within the hallowed halls of this ancient institution.